bruise what I thought would break me. I want to talk to you for a moment. There are some things about my story that many people don't know, and I believe the time has come for me to become more vocal about what God has saved me from, what He has delivered me from, what He has healed me from, and what He has restored in me. One of the things I've learned in my journey is that sometimes God will use the most natural things in our lives to accomplish something supernatural. For me, one of those things was motherhood. I had my two boys back to back within 2 years. And at that time, I didn't fully understand what God was doing. But looking back now, I can see it. God used that season to process me, refine me, change me, and completely shift my mindset about how I was supposed to show up for my children. Those pregnancies came with responsibilities that forced me to slow down. They gave me a reason to stay safe, a reason to become stable, a reason to heal. And God began restoring parts of me that had been broken for years. Many people don't know that I was exposed to things as a child that no child should have been exposed to. I was raised in church, but that didn't mean I was protected from everything that happened around me. There were places where the enemy gained access to my life and tried to steal my voice, my identity, my confidence, my purpose. And eventually, I found myself in situations where I couldn't flourish as the woman God created me to be. I ended up in the hands of someone who could have completely taken my life. I didn't understand then how God was going to use any of it. Even when I came back to church, even while I was in that relationship, there were still situations where I experienced injustice and pain. But here's what I've learned: God can take what the enemy meant for evil and use it for good. And I believe He allowed me to walk through some of those things because He knew that one day my testimony will help someone else live. Today, I'm watching my testimony impact my own family, my own household, communities, women, mothers, young girls, people I've met face to face, and people I've never even met through social media. And that's why I'm no longer ashamed of my story. I'm not glorifying what happened to me. I'm glorifying the God who brought me through it. Because if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. I wouldn't have what I have today. And I certainly wouldn't be standing here worshiping Him freely in spirit and in truth. There was a time when I couldn't walk in the freedom I'm walking in today, but God kept working on me. And when I remarried and went through those two difficult pregnancies, God was doing something deep inside of me. He was teaching me how to become the mother I wasn't able to fully be during some of those years of abuse and brokenness. And I'm still hopeful for something very personal in my heart. I want to show up for my first child. I want to become the mother my daughter didn't have during certain seasons of her life. And I'm trusting God with that too. Because restoration doesn't always happen overnight. Sometimes God restores us one layer at a time, one decision at a time, one relationship at a time, one generation at a time. And if you're listening to me right now and you're a mother, if you're a single woman, if you're a young woman or a young girl, and something about my story sounds familiar to you, please don't give up. Your story's not over. What happened to you does not get to define who you are. Your mistakes don't get to define you. Your trauma doesn't get to define you. Your past doesn't get to define you. Jesus does. And I want you to know that there's still hope. There's still healing. There's still purpose. There's still an identity that God wants to restore. There's still a voice inside of you that the enemy tried to silence. And there's still a woman inside of you that God is calling forward. That's why I created Lifting Deborahs, a place where women can come together, be encouraged, grow in faith, heal, find their voice, discover their identity, and become the woman God has called them to be. So if you're a woman who knows there's more inside of you, if you're a mom trying to rebuild, if you're a single woman trying to find your identity, if you're a young girl who needs someone to remind you of who you are before the world tells you who you should be, I want you to stay connected. Follow me here on social media. Stay connected to Lifting Deborahs. And maybe you're not a female. You're possibly a male listening to this video. And I want you to also stay connected. Why? Because I'm going to be sharing more of my testimony, more encouragement, more faith, and more of what God has taught me through the process. And I don't know who needs to hear this today, but maybe you're watching this because God wants you to know you are not forgotten. You're not disqualified. You're not too broken. You are not too far gone. If God could do it for me, He can do it for you. Let this be the hope you needed today. Let God heal you. Let Him restore your identity. Let Him give you your voice back. Let Him show you your purpose. And more importantly, let Him lead you back to Him. I'm still becoming, I'm still healing, I'm still growing, but now I'm walking on the path God has called me to walk. And I want you to know you can walk that same path too. Let's rise together.